What's up, y'all? Serrano786 here for another Destiny 2 video. Well, it was only a matter of time, Warlocks. We had our time in the sun. We flew too high. And like the mythical person, Icarus, we flew too close to the sun. And now we're back down to mediocre. If you just saw, Bungie posted on Bungie.net about some updates, some reworks, and some nerfs to plenty of exotics in Destiny 2 coming in Season 21, Season of the Deep. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Hit the little notification bell. Let me know you're enjoying the content. We'll try to have more videos of this. We're going to be doing a little bit of just thoughts about mainly the Warlock changes. Hunter and Titan I'm not really worried about, to be completely honest, just mainly because I don't really play them a lot. I mean, they're just mainly there for raiding purposes to get more recipes. So I wasn't really too... I was just meh about the whole thing for Hunters, and there were a couple of things with Titan that I was like, oh, that might be interesting. But, you know, without really testing these, without really seeing also the artifact mods and how that's going to pan out, it's kind of hard to say really how these are all going to play out. But I really just wanted to give my thoughts on a couple of things. Mainly wanted to just kind of give my thoughts on that. Starfire Protocol, I mean, let's just be honest, that is what it is. We all knew it was coming, Warlocks. I mean, like I said, it was a good time. I think it will still be somewhat viable. We're not going to be top in DPS or getting close to top DPS. I still think that's going to be with Hunters. Star Eaters is just really, really good. You can apply that to so many supers. I think it's still going to be really viable for Hunters to be top super DPS, especially with Star Eaters. I don't know, Geomag stabilizers with Chaos Reach. I think I would love that to be meta. I always really love that. I feel like Goku every single time that I use Chaos Reach, and with that, believe it's a 25% buff. Who knows? It might be more viable. I would love to actually, and I'm actually really excited to not have to run Starfire Protocol. It is a rip, honestly, because, you know, it's a really good build for like getting well, but I'm pretty sure you'll still be able to use it, just not as much, and it won't be nearly as strong. So this is actually just a good way to encourage different builds with Warlock. So I'm actually pretty stoked about it on that end of things. It didn't deserve the nerf that it did. I'll be honest. It didn't deserve the nerf that it got. I think under most circumstances, people are probably going to just go back to Phoenix Protocol and just use that for, you know, boss DPS or, you know, for raiding and things like that. Unless for some reason Geomag just happens to just pop off, or the new Void updates for those supers start to, you know, honestly, it's just real kind of speculation at this point. But honestly, it's just really sad to see Starfire go, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll have to do more testing once the season comes out, once we have an opportunity to test these. I kind of wanted to just briefly test this out. I also tested out the damage for Battle of Harmony. And it's roughly going to get a 5% buff, so it's not going to be a huge buff. Again, I don't think it's going to be enough to actually put somebody into the position of saying like, oh, you know what? I'm going to run Battle of Harmony all the time. Not like Starfire Protocol. Rip. That's all I can say. Yeah, I don't really understand this. I had a previous video of it that I made probably about a week and a half ago about, can you play the way you want? And the answer is no. We're encouraged to play the way you want. We're told the lie by companies, because it's not just Bungie. Let's just talk about this in big picture, right? How many times have you heard play the way you want? I have a video about it. There's going to be a card up above. So if you want to watch that video, I went on a rant about it. Bungie shortly afterwards, which was really funny, within a couple hours, had posted about how they're buffing roaming supers, which I thought was kind of hilarious. But we're told and encouraged to play the way you want, but it's never really true, because if we did play the way we want and we try to do things like in-game content, Grandmasters, Master raids, master anything, there's only a certain few builds that are viable for those. Now, there are other builds you can use, right? But if you really want to be efficient, you want to be top tier, I feel like there's only a set number of builds that ideally you want to play. And it sucks. It really does. Because really all this translates into is there's going to be frustration, and that's saying it lightly for some players. I mean, I'm a Warlock main, and I'm really upset that they nerfed Starfire. I mean, a little bit. More so in the fact that they nerfed it as hard as they did. Not that they nerfed it. I knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was coming. If you didn't know, well, you're just, I guess, rose-colored glasses, I guess. But you had to expect that it was going to be nerfed. It was really strong. Did it need a nerf? Yes, absolutely. Did it need it this bad, what they did? Probably not. Will they redact it? Maybe. They might change it eventually down the road, but Starfire is not going to be as dominating, and that's what they wanted to do, right? They didn't want it to be as dominating, but they nerfed it maybe too hard. It's hard to tell, right? We need to play it. We need to see it in the new season. We need to see it with the new artifacts. But I have a feeling you're going to have to go deep into grenade stat boost, really build around the grenades in order for it to be as viable as it is currently. Again, we knew it's coming, but yeah, it's frustrating. Companies just need to be able to just, I don't know. What is so hard about that? I guess if anybody is a developer, if anybody knows what makes it so hard to balance it, right? Couldn't it be just something as simple as like, okay, set character has X amount of HP, right? And on a boss, we typically want that fight to last 20 seconds. Let's say like Carl here. It should take 20 seconds to kill Carl, and he has X amount of XP, right? Now, if we divide that by a certain 20 seconds, that HP, then on average, you would want to do about X amount of DPS, right? So then couldn't you just make some formula that says, okay, you're going to do this amount of damage fighting this type of mob, and so it should take you this long to kill it? Right? Like, is that simplified? I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass here. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm just going to be done with this. This just ended up turning into a rant. I didn't really want it to. As you can tell, I'm just frustrated. There's a lot of people I'm sure that are frustrated with Bungie, and this isn't the first time they've done this. This is a reoccurring thing. This is a reoccurring theme with just nerfing things into the ground, making certain builds not as viable. And I understand that it's supposed to encourage you to make other builds, right? But why not just bring the power up of everything else? I guess it's easier, right? I guess that's they're taking the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance is just nerfing something into the ground instead of bringing everything else up. Maybe that's the logic. I don't know. I've tried to sign off already like 5 times saying stay spicy out there, giving my thoughts, but I guess, again, it's just frustration. It's frustration. I don't know. Are you frustrated? Again, I know it's warranted. The nerf is warranted. It didn't need to be that bad, though. It didn't need to be that bad of a nerf. I don't know. Let me hear your thoughts. Yeah. I'll catch y'all on the next one. We'll have to see how this pans out for Season 21, Season of the Deep. I hope you have a good rest of your day, everybody. Stay spicy out there, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Later.